आप सबका स्वागत है लल्लनटॉप सिनेमा में। मेरे साथ आज जुड़े हैं कुणाल रॉय कपूर। बहुत सारी मूवीज, सीरीज, काफी जगहों पर हमने देखा है, कहीं ना कहीं ही ऑलवेज मेक्स एन अपीयरेंस। बट आज हम बात करेंगे इनकी आने वाली सीरीज जो है एंड ऑफ कोर्स दिल्ली बेली तो सबको याद है, तो उसके बिना बात किए ये इंटरव्यू अनफिनिश्ड होगा, इनकम्प्लीट होगा। सो लेट्स डाइव राइट इन। वेलकम कुणाल।
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I actually want to go back to the start. आपने काफी कुछ किया है एक्टिंग के अलावा, आपने डायरेक्शन और प्लेस भी किए हैं। मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ आपने डायरेक्शन ऐसे परस्यू क्यों नहीं किया?
Well, actually, मैं परस्यू तो अभी भी कर रहा हूँ, एज इन मैं चाहता हूँ कि आगे जाके मैं और भी मैं फिल्म सीरीज जो भी है मैं डायरेक्ट करूँ, तो वो कोशिश तो जारी है। और आई थिंक कि क्या हुआ, दिल्ली बेली के बाद मुझे ज़्यादातर एक्टिंग ऑफर्स मिल गए, तो आई थिंक कि दैट प्रोसेस स्टार्टेड एंड डायरेक्शन काइंड ऑफ टुक अ बैक सीट। बट यस, मैं डेफिनेटली चाहूंगा कि आगे जाके मैं और डायरेक्ट करूं, तो एंड आई एम वर्किंग ऑन दैट आल्सो करंटली, सो होपफुली अलोंग विद एक्टिंग मैं दोनों चीजें मैं एक साथ कर।
ओके, आपने दिल्ली बेली के बारे में बात की और आपने कहा कि उसके बाद यू गॉट अ लॉट ऑफ दीज एक्टिंग ऑफर्स। या ऑफ कोर्स नो वन एवर गोइंग टू फॉरगेट नितिन। पर मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि यू नो डूइंग सच अ पॉपुलर फिल्म, एक तरह से कल्ट भी कह सकते हो आप उस फिल्म को, उसके बाद डिड इट सेट यू अप इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर करियर जैसे आपने एक्सपेक्ट किया था?
Yeah, totally. I think that given the success of Delhi Belly, after that, I mean, it was wonderful to get a lot of acting offers, a lot of roles for comedy films. I think the opportunities that came my way after that are amazing. Even till now, I get so many opportunities, and it's all built on the back of Delhi Belly. I think Delhi Belly ke baad Yeh Jawaani or Nautanki or even the series that have happened have all been sort of built on the fact that the grounding was Delhi Belly in a sense. Although uske pehle bhi maine दो फिल्में की थी which weren't commercially successful. One was a wonderful little film called Loins of Punjab presents, and another one called Panganalo, which didn't really get a proper release, and it didn't really do much. But so and of course even before that television. Um, I mean, I've been acting for a while, but Delhi Belly was the one that kind of gave you that breakthrough performance जो कहते हैं ना, जो उसके बाद you kind of get more opportunities और मौके मिलते हैं to kind of to go out there and show your wares basically.
Yeah, Nitin Berry became like a sort of milestone आपके अगर करियर में आप देखो तो। आपने बात की ये जवानी है दीवानी के बारे में। I wanted to know अपने भाई के साथ काम करते हुए सेट्स पे what was that like?
It was actually quite weird क्योंकि even growing up we never really did any theater related stuff also together. Aditya was not a very active on the stage. It was mostly me doing the theater. Aditya was then later on being a VJ और वो सब कर रहा था, and he was more into music. So I think stage performance भी हम साथ. So it was the first time we were actually acting together, which was very very weird. Very, I mean, it was strange because generally you meet someone, you know the person as a brother, like you have a brother kind of relationship, but suddenly you're on set together and you have your own way of working, right? And then suddenly you're seeing that, okay, this person works like this person works like this. So it's a different side to a brother that you've never seen before. So it was weird, but still a lot of fun, yeah. And it was hardly like a couple of scenes that we did together, yeah. So.
आपने कॉमेडी के बारे में मेंशन किया पहले कि आफ्टर डूइंग दिल्ली बेली आपको वैसे बहुत सिमिलर रोल्स अभी तक मिलते आ रहे हैं। आपको लगता है एक तरीके से आप कॉमेडी में स्लॉट हो चुके कि पीपल ओनली सॉर्ट ऑफ you're synonymous with such roles and there's so much scope for more for you as an actor, but again you're just slotted to that?
Well, actually, people have offered me other things. I've done a horror film. I've done even last year I did Tribhanga, which was completely dead serious. I've done stuff which is not in the comedy space, but the larger ones have generally been the even in the OTT space. It's generally more in the comic zone than anything else. So that's why जब ये मौका मुझे मिल रहा था कि आधा इश्क में ये character जो है वो बहुत ही he's a much grayer character. He's got a lot of resentment, more brooding, and I think just the opportunity to play someone who's out of my zone and out of the general conventional sort of image that people have of me was very exciting. So इसीलिए मैं जब मुझे ये when I got to read the script and I met with Nandita ma'am, our director. It was exciting for me because they reimagined what the possibilities are. Exactly what you're saying, and अक्सर ये होता है, लोग मेरे पास आते हैं with different kinds of sort of projects, but not always does it work out given the script or the character or the director, or so I think in this case it kind of made sense. Many times people do come to me, but everything is not fitting together. So yeah, जब ये मौके मिलते हैं, then I grab it with both hands. Yeah.
मैं आपसे पूछने वाली थी, मेरा अगला सवाल ये था कि आधा इश्क लुक्स इंटेंस ट्रेलर से जो हमने देखा है, एंड 12 मई को आ रही है, तो प्लीज कीप अ लुक आउट फॉर दैट. दिस इज ऑन वूट सेलेक्ट. तो व्हाट वाज इट लाइक जब ये स्क्रिप्ट आई या जब आप इसके लिए प्रेप कर रहे थे, आपका प्रोसेस क्या था?
Well, the process was we had a few readings and rehearsals with Nandita, our director, and after reading it a few times, we went through the graphs of the character, because is kahani mein it's also a lot of back and forth in time. So I think to understand where in time are these characters in terms of graphing their relationship. क्योंकि क्या है कि ये my character Milind and Roma, that's Amna's character, वो बहुत ही young age पे they got into a relationship together, and very soon it goes south, and very soon it kind of it sours. So I think कि to graph that relationship कि अच्छा यहाँ से start करके फिर यहाँ पे आते हैं, फिर they come to some sort of resolution, but it's all back and forth. It's not linear in that sense. You see parts of their relationships in flashes. So I think that was difficult for us to grasp, and so that was more, the workshop was about that, and also how gray to make this character. How because I think people sometimes associate me with characters that are a little bit more affable, likable. But this character of Milind is a lot grayer in that sense. So I'm hoping people don't end up liking Milind that much. I don't want them to like him. I want them to maybe hate him also. कि भाई इससे नफरत करो, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो he'll serve the purpose of the story, and I think that is more important, and I think that's what's exciting to me, that it's not necessarily a character that needs to be likable. He needs to be a character who's interesting.
अपनी तरफ से क्या कोशिश की थी कि कोई ऐसा कैरेक्टर बने जिसको लोग बिल्कुल पसंद ही ना करें? क्योंकि ऑल योर लाइफ, लाइक यू सेड, बहुत लाइकेबल, इवन इन योर स्मॉलेस्ट ऑफ रोल्स. मैंने राधे श्याम देखी रिसेंटली, उसमें आपका काम देखा. इट्स ऑलवेज यू आर देयर एंड पीपल आर लाइक हाँ है, एंड वी लाइक हिम, वी डोंट फील सो स्ट्रांगली अपोज्ड टू हिम एज अ कैरेक्टर. तो आपने अपनी तरफ से क्या किया?
I think a lot of that comes from the script. A lot of that comes from the story itself. I don't need to play like someone who is gray. I think a lot of that, because then it just becomes forced. I think वो सब unless it is scripted, unless it is directed the way it's supposed to be done, then the pressure is not on the actor कि भाई मुझे negative तरीके से ये play करना है. नहीं, मुझे तो बस I have to just play these lines to the best of my ability, and the writing will see you through कि okay, people are not going to like this about the character, they're not going to like this action, they're not going to like the thing that he said, but all of that comes from the writing. The actor doesn't need to, because in the actor, I mean, the character is not a bad man in his own head, ना. उसके सर में तो हम सब तो भगवान ही हैं, हम सब तो angels ही हैं ना. तो अगर तो nobody plays themselves as villains, right? Everyone plays themselves as a hero, because from their perspective, from your own perspective, you're always right. But from an outside perspective, what you're doing is wrong. So I think that is important, that you don't play these things as someone who's doing wrong things. You're playing it as someone who's doing right things from their point of view, but it's wrong to other people. it's wrong to the outside perspective. And that's why I think that's why sometimes playing a negative role doesn't need to be played in a negative way. It just needs to be played, and then people will find it negative. But having said that, Milind is not a negative character. Milind is just a complicated character who's a little bit more brooding and a little bit more gray. That is all. He's not a villain of the piece. ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
As an industry, people are always so ambitious and hungry, है ना? सब कुछ ज्यादा चाहिए होता है. आप जैसे रोल्स पिक कर रहे हो, प्ले कर रहे हो, आपकी साइकी क्या है? आपके थॉट प्रोसेस में हमें थोड़ा सा एक झलक दे, प्लीज.
I mean, I honestly, I try to work with people or stories or ideas. Like if something is working for me in that character, like if I feel कि हाँ इसमें मैं कुछ ला सकता हूँ, इसमें I can add to the story by doing it this way, or I can bring something to the story, that's very appealing. The general arc of the story also has to appeal to me. The general arc of the character has to appeal to me. I honestly don't make some very informed decision. ऐसा नहीं है कि मुझे लगता है कि हाँ यही कैरेक्टर हिट होने वाला है और यही फिल्म हिट होने वाली है. ऐसा कुछ प्रोसेस नहीं है. I think it's just you go with a gut feeling that okay, maybe I should try this. Maybe this will be something different for me. Radhe Shyam also was something so different and new for me because I mean I was doing a lot of stuff in Telugu also, so that was also new and different. It was a different experience for me working in a different style of filmmaking altogether, a different language altogether. So I keep trying to do things which are a little bit, I mean, they're pretty mainstream, but they're a little bit off, a little bit hatke, a little bit weird. So, so even in the characters that I choose, I try to find something that's a little bit off about these guys. So yeah, there's no main like massive thought process in it. It's just something that I choose to do at that point in time. Yeah.
But आप इसमें संतुष्ट है, like you're satisfied with these smaller roles. Do you ever feel कि इतना potential है, I can do so much more?
No, as in satisfaction is a state of mind, right? Like I think I'm satisfied by the fact that I'm an actor and that I get to go to work not every day, but whenever I have work, I get to go and I get to act. I think the satisfaction is knowing that that this is something that I love to do and I'm getting paid to do it. वही सबसे बड़ा satisfaction यही है कि ये मौका मुझे मिल रहा है. हमारे देश में इतने सारे एक्टर्स हैं, इतने सारे होप्स एंड ड्रीम्स के साथ बम्बई आते हैं और वो कभी वो ख्वाहिश ही रह जाती है, वो कभी पूरी नहीं होती है. तो आई थिंक दैट फॉर मी as an actor who, I mean, I've grown up doing theater, I've dreamt of being an actor, and now that you have the chance, I think it's just wonderful to be able to act and to be paid to act. So I think, whatever opportunities come your way, see, careers will have their own graph, and that's just life. And then there'll be some people will remember some performances, some will not, some will be big hits, some will not be big hits. But I think the important thing is to just keep doing what you do and enjoying it. So if you enjoy the people you are working with, the process that you're going through, you're trying to make a scene better, you're trying to work with actors who are talented, directors who are talented, crews that you enjoy being in that environment, I think there's no greater satisfaction than that. After that, now, if you're deriving satisfaction from fame and money, then that's also fine, but that is a different satisfaction. But I think for me, the satisfaction is just doing the work that I do. That's about it.
Would you say who you are as a person? Very, very easily content, simple, and affable?
No, I don't think I'm content. I mean, of course, I do. Everyone wants better in life, and it's not that. I think that or even satisfied in that way. I think satisfaction and contentment and all these things are because there's no end to it, right? Like you keep wanting more and better, and I want to win an Oscar, but I mean that everyone would want to win something. Golden Globes में मुझे जाना है, मुझे वहाँ पे कुछ. अगर क्या, I mean, you wanting it is so if you make those things be a disappointment in your life, that's not the thing. The thing is just to keep working. अगर वो आएगा तो आएगा, नहीं आएगा तो it's not the end of the world. We're still breathing. We've been through a pandemic. There are more important things in the world than your petty ambitions. So yeah.
place this in the context of your family. What is that like? एक भाई इतने बड़े producer है, sister-in-law विद्या बालन है, then there's Aditya Roy Kapoor. On a human level, वो pressure या आप कैसे deal करते हो?
No, I mean, there's no pressure that way. I think everyone has that level of contentment. Everyone just wants to do better work. Everyone wants to, you know, uh, just do the work that they're doing honestly. I mean, of course, everyone wants to be paid well. Everyone wants to have a good life. वो सब तो जरूरी है और वो होना भी चाहिए. मगर it's not like I'm going to now prove this or I'm going to now show. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. बस हम acting करते हैं. It's not some, it's it's not that big a deal. It's we're making some entertainment at the end of the day. It's fine. We're not doctors. We're not we're not fighting for human rights and all that. We're acting in a show. So let's get our perspectives right. It's fun. It's great that we are getting these opportunities to do these things, and all of us, I think, at some level have that perspective. Of course, things are taken very seriously. Work is very serious. Everything is professional, but it's not that. I think some level of like perspective is also something that is shared amongst the family.
The flip side, कभी ऐसे हुआ है कि आपको कोई स्क्रिप्ट मिलती है या आपको एडवाइस चाहिए होता है तो आप अपने बड़े भाई के पास जाते हो या छोटे भाई के साथ थोड़ा अगर डिस्कस करते हो, वो होता है आप सबके बीच?
कभी I mean, now तो with all NDAs and all in place, we're not even allowed to reveal what we're reading and all that, but I think generally the questions do come कि हाँ कैसा लगा इस बंदे के साथ तुमने काम की थी, तो how was your experience, or you worked with so and so, what was your experience like, or I'm thinking of doing this with so and so person, what do you think? So generally, of course, वो discussions होती रहती हैं, but it's not like no career choices are made by any of us. Like, it's like, of course, you get advice, you get an opinion, you get a sounding board, because it's great that all of us are working at different, at different stages in our careers with different people, and it's nice to be able to share that information sometimes.
Okay, we're almost out of time. This is my last question. As an actor, what is Kunal hungry for? What do you want to do next? Where are we going to see you next?
More OTT shows are in the pipeline, so that definitely there. Hopefully in a different light. Hopefully I'll be the next action hero. Who knows? I'm saying I would love to be the next whatever, Jean-Claude Van Damme, but Kunaal Roy Kapur. We got similar names also. So I'm saying it's I hope that people get to see me in different ways, in a different light every time they get to see me, and yeah, I keep hoping to do different things. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you, Pratik. I'm going to sign off here.
Bye.
Hi.